everyone, welcome to my studio. I'm Lydia and today I'm going to share the behind the scenes of creating the bubble frock. I'm going to show you how I first draped it and then drafted it in Illustrator, and then I'm going to show you the final product. This is a pattern that I'm working on, a PDF pattern that you can get on my website. It's currently in testing, so it will be actually released for you to be able to purchase it in 2 weeks. If you want to be the first to know and perhaps get a little discount on your purchase, then sign up to my newsletter, which is linked below, and you'll be hearing from me. So let me show you what I've done. Okay everyone, say hello to Bathilda. She's currently sporting a first draft of the bubble frock bodice. So I was actually working on a completely different dress pattern at the time and it wasn't really fully working out. And then one day I was just thinking about Cecily Bonson's Empire style puffy dresses and I was just like, those are so pretty. I want to make something like that that's interesting and unique. And this entire style just popped into my head. I thought of the scallop trim, I thought of the seam across the bust line, and then just a raised under bust. I don't know, it just came to me. And so really quickly, just to see if it would even work out, I just cut a strip of fabric and basically cut out these very uneven scallops on it. This one's like huge, these are smaller and oddly shaped. And then I just pinched the fabric at the sides in a dart, and then I sewed that in, like I pinched a little bit of the fabric here and sewed it really closely along the edge to give it that seam, just to test it out. And then I tried it on. I was like, okay, I think this style's gonna work. So it sat there for a couple of days, but then I brought it over to Illustrator. I started drafting from my bodice block. Basically what I did, I pivoted the dart from the waist to the side. And then what I did was establish the top neckline, establish the under bust line, and then from the bust point to the center front, I brought a line straight across and then separated the top and bottom. I was also playing around with some scallops because I was originally going to have the scallop as part of the top bodice piece, but I decided later to make it more versatile and easier for you to construct. I decided to have the scallop as a trim, and you can even just make the garment without the scallop if you wanted. So that was my first draft. I printed it out and I sewed just one layer up in some muslin. You can see that it says here that it's sample 2. So here it is. I originally had it this low, like it looked like this, but then I decided I wanted to make the curve more pronounced and higher up, and so I just cut out that little line. I also tried it on myself just to see how it looked. I also realized that the top here was like gaping a little bit, so I realized I had to take that in a little bit. What I did is I slashed a line down on the top portion, and then I just pivoted the top, overlapped it a little bit so that it would be snug around the over bust area. I also had to move over the bust point, like the bust point is kind of like here instead of here where it should be, so then it's kind of like perking up in the middle more and it's not as smooth of a line, so I moved that over as well. And then the back was so oddly shaped. I just kind of like worked with it, drew lines, figured out how much I needed to take off. It was very easy just to shape it how it needed to be. Also, this is a point when I made my own little scallops, just a little sample, just to see, can I make scallops? Like, can I make them that good? These are totally uneven. I just freehand drew them and then sewed around them and then turned them out and all that. And I noticed that at the corners it needed some work, so that's when later on I thought I need to use some fray check in the corners just so that it doesn't start fraying and coming apart. But yeah, this was my first sample of actually sewing the scallop trim, and so I found that yes, I can do this. This is possible. Let's move forward. So I went back and did my adjustments for sample number 3. Okay, and this was draft number 2. So I thought I would actually try adding in the scallop trim and just see how it actually looked and see how it like fit on me. So that's this one. I realized that the top area right here was just a little bit too tight. So I went ahead and pivoted it back a little bit from what I had originally like pivoted closed. I opened it up a little bit on the top bodice piece. And then I felt that this curve was a little like going down a little too much. So this is the side, the original side of draft 3. And then this is where I drew it on myself and then cut it off just to show that little bit. But yeah, this was quite a good sample. It fit me quite well. So I was feeling very optimistic. I was feeling close to the end. My shoulders are actually much taller, like an inch or so taller than this. So it seems higher on the dress form than what it actually looks like on me. And that's the thing with making this garment, like you might have a lower set bust or a higher set bust, so adjusting the length of the straps is totally up to you, because in the pattern I've set a length for the strap, but you always have to like adjust it on yourself and see where it fits more comfortably. So yeah, after this I went on to draft number 4, and this is where I felt confident enough to make an actual full garment that I could wear. So let me show you that one. How cute is this? I'm jumping in here to tell you about today's sponsor. Thank you, Skillshare. You have changed my life. I've been able to enjoy partaking in a number of classes that have inspired me, broadened my knowledge, and just all around seasoned a little bit of salt into my life. So if you haven't heard of Skillshare, it is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for you to take that can broaden your knowledge, that can open up your mind, that can help you build on skills that you already have, where you can delve into learning skills that you've always wanted to learn but didn't have the time for. I've already dabbled in a little bit of productivity learning. I've done a singing class just for fun. Why not? And right now I am fascinated by graphic design. I've been taking a course by Ellen Lupton. I've learned a bit about design having gone to a fashion school, but this has broadened my perspective on a whole different area of design. I love how she gives demos of how to design that graphic spread, so that's been really interesting and is very relevant to what I do. And I'm very excited to explore more of what Skillshare has, because there's so many things I want to learn. Being a creative, so many things interest me. And you might be similar. There's things like illustration, logo design, animation, videography, video editing. I can always improve in that. And so much more. So if you're interested in broadening your mind and building on your skills, you can actually try this out for free. The first 1,000 people to click the link below will get a month free of Skillshare. So you can try it out. You can really explore all of these classes, and I know that you're really gonna enjoy it. So thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to a behind the scenes of the bubble frock.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boy.
Okay, this is my first full wearable sample of the bubble frock. I just had this velour. It's like a upholstery grade velour. I had a yard of it. It was like 40 wide and it was perfect. I've been saving it for so long, and it was perfect for this because this garment really doesn't take a whole lot of yardage. So I was really happy to utilize that, you know? With draft 4, what I had done was I had made the scallops a little bit shallower, which also helped with the construction so that it wasn't such a sharp corner for these valleys of the scallop curve. And then I also sort of worked on this area, making it less of a drastic curve. I still felt that on the side here it was going down just a little bit too low. So in my revisions I did bring this up just a little bit. And I did bring up the center front a little bit as well. But yeah, as I said, this dress form is much shorter than me in the shoulders, so I have to pin it to make it look good on here. But it has finished it off with an invisible zipper, and it's lined. This really is a great garment to delve into linings because the lining part of it is really easy. Like, it's not difficult and like intensive. It's quite easy. But also, you don't have to line the skirt. You just want to line the bodice part at least, because that's going to give it that structure. But yeah, I was really proud of this one. So this is my final make. I am not going to show you it in detail yet because you're gonna have to watch my tutorial, which is coming very soon when I release it. But this was my final dress. It's a long version. It goes a couple inches above my knees, and this was the magic pill. I actually found this fabric in the upholstery section. You guys gotta look at the upholstery section because it's so great. You can get such great, fabulous structural fabrics there. So to finish up the pattern, I made adjustments. I corrected all the seam allowance, made sure the notches lined up, just got everything together. And then I started labeling it and then started my whole process for creating a sellable pattern. If you guys are interested in making your own patterns on Illustrator, I have an entire tutorial that walks you from start to finish on how to do that. I will link it below. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little behind the scenes. I really enjoy the pattern creation process, and it feels like such an accomplishment to provide a pattern that you guys can make your own garments from. So thank you guys so much for buying my patterns, for supporting me. And with that, I will end this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, tell me what you think. Let me know if you're excited, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!